Okay, so yesterday I was trying to basically talk about these particular things, where I was trying to explain like what is going to be the job role of an end user and a consultant. So end user is going to be working on the front end application of SAP, where he's going to be basically responsible for recording the day-to-day activities carried out in the business. Let it be related to the sales, purchasing, finance. You try to keep a record of all that transaction data and master data. Whereas as a consultant, we are going to be responsible for building the application, where we are going to be using standard solutions as well as custom solutions, and we try to map the business requirement. And apart from that, I was trying to introduce two particular terms, who will be called as a client and who will be called as an implementation partner. So companies which want to use SAP application for recording their activities, we name them as client, and implementation partners are nothing but service providers who provide service on SAP platform. And apart from that, I was trying to give some information related to the consultant job role, what exactly we do as an analyst, configurator, and as a tester. So as an analyst, we try to basically collect the requirements. As a configurator, we build the application. And as a tester, we try to perform the testing and make sure all the requirements of the business has been fulfilled in SAP platform. So this is what I was trying to explain in my last class with reference to the roles and responsibilities of a consultant and an end user, and difference why we call it as a business or an implementation partner. Now, the next thing which we try to focus today would be understanding system navigation. So we try to work out with the system application. So here we try to start understanding how you're going to be working on SAP application, system navigation. Now, when we talk about this particular system navigation over here, now the first and the foremost important thing you need to know, you're going to be finding in the real time SAP system landscape. You're going to be finding SAP system landscape, and this particular landscape is going to be made up of three different servers. One, we call it as development server. Second, quality server. And third, production server. In whichever project you try to work as a part of implementation or in the support environment, you're going to be finding, you're going to be having three servers: development, quality, and production. The development server, in short, we try to call it as dev, quality, quas, and production, PRT. And this server's maintenance installation is going to be taken care by your basis team. So before you work on SAP application, basis team is going to be setting up the SAP application. They will be responsible for SAP server maintenance. They are going to be responsible for SAP server maintenance. They will be responsible for SAP software installations. And they will be responsible for user authorizations as well. So they try to create your username, passwords, and to which user what authorizations need to be provided, they try to map it, which we try to call it as user authorization matrix. And apart from that, they are going to be responsible for data transportation as well. If you want to move the data from development server to quality server and from quality server to production server, it is going to be the basis team who will be handling it. So they play a very important role in the project. If you're not able to log in into SAP application or servers are not working, basis is going to be the point of contact for that. Now, how you are going to be logging into SAP application? So as a consultant, you need to make sure we are going to be having on our desktop or on our laptop SAP GUI, or you can call it as an SAP logon pad. This need to be installed, and this will be occupying a space of almost around 700 MB. on your work machines. And this is how it is going to be looking. You're not going to be installing the entire SAP application. You're going to be installing this particular GUI because your servers are going to be maintained at remote locations. Okay, so you're going to be logging into that particular server and you're going to be working on the application, and you're going to be making sure you're having a proper internet connection available to do your practice and work in the real time, because we are going to be working on an online servers, not offline. It's going to be an online, and you require internet connection for that. And when you double click on it, a new screen is going to be getting opened up where list of servers on which you need to work will be getting displayed. So these are all going to be installed by your basis department. And if you want to know the properties of any particular server, you can select it, right click on it, click on properties, and you require this particular information. You need to get it from your basis department. Okay, so your system administrators are going to be helping you out in setting up the application on your systems. That is nothing but your laptop and the desktop. They provide you your user credentials, and you can log in and you can start working out on the application as well. So this is one thing you need to know. And which server on which you need to work out in the real time, there will be a documentation which will be shared. You need to read that particular document and you need to go for selection of the server. So right now I'm working on with this particular server, and once you click on enter, this will be taking us to the welcome screen of SAP. This how the screen is going to be looking. And here you're going to be finding client. This client is what in SAP terms we are going to be calling it as system IDs. We name it as system IDs, or you call it as client ID. The client what I've explained yesterday and the one you are trying to check today is different. This is going to be with reference to system numbers. So if you find any client ID maintained between 800 to 899, we are going to be calling it as demo clients. We are going to be calling them as demo clients, and these demo clients are going to be used only for education purpose or for practice purpose. If you want to do your practice, if you want to know how SAP application has been designed, you can log into this particular clients and you can do your practice. And it is going to be a full version. You're not going to be having some templates to run, not like that. It is going to be full version. Whatever screens we work in the real time, the same screens are going to be shown in this particular clients as well. You can log in, you can do your complete life cycle execution, and you can get to know the functionality. But please remember, this is nothing but practice clients. We use this clients only for to get hands-on experience on SAP application. If you want to know what is the solution provided by SAP for any particular business functionality, you try to log in, you try to work on it. Whereas if you try to find any client ID maintained between 000 to 799, we are going to be calling them as real-time clients. And these clients are going to be used for building SAP application. Build SAP application, at the same time record day-to-day transactions. Whatever activities are carried out in the business, we are going to be recording it as well. So this is how we are going to be differentiating it. So right now you will be given access to work with client number called as 800, which will be used for education purpose. And you need to enter your username and the password to log into the application. And make sure you're going to be entering your password properly, because the length of the password is going to be of 40 letters, and you can't enter password wrong for more than 3 times. If you're trying to enter your password wrongly for more than 3 times, your account is going to be getting blocked. Again, you need to put a request to the basis team, and basis team will be unfreezing your account. Otherwise your account is going to be getting freezed. Okay, now see, so here we are getting an error message. So right now system is saying that I have entered some wrong username or a password to log into the application. So you're going to be finding different types of messages getting displayed when you work on the application. Types of messages. In SAP, you're going to be having different types of message. One, we call it as error message. Second, warning message. Third, success message. And fourth is going to be information messages. These are going to be the different types of messages you find. And how to identify? Always error messages are going to be in red in color, warning messages yellow in color, success green, and informations are going to be in the form of pop-ups or in the form of dialog boxes. This is how you are going to be identifying what type of messages you're getting in application. So right now we got an error message over here. We got an error message. So I need to enter the right one in this particular field. And you can go for selection of the logon language, in which language you want to log into application, and go for recording the activities as well. So right now I'm trying to select it as EN. So maintain this particular data in the initial screen. Try to click on enter. Now we got one pop-up. We have entered the wrong password, so system is trying to show some messages. And once we hit on continue, this is how the screen is going to be looking. And we call this particular screen as SAP Easy Access Screen, which we name it as front-end application of SAP. So for every screen, you're going to be finding a screen name. Right now, we have logged into SAP Easy Access, which we try to call it as front-end application. And this front-end application is going to be under the control of end users, where they try to basically go for recording of master data and transaction data. So I was trying to give some examples what is going to be part of your master data. Now, for example, customer information, vendor information or supplier information, material information, GL accounts, in which your amount is going to be getting updated. These are all going to be some examples of your master data. Whereas transaction data, sales orders. Then we have purchase orders, incoming payments, outgoing payments. Then we have incoming delivery, outgoing delivery, which we name it as inbound, outbound deliveries. These are all going to be examples of your transaction data. So you're going to be finding end users will be working on easy access to record master data, to record transaction data. So that is the reason this particular screen access is always going to be provided for the end user. As a consultants, we are not going to be working on this particular screen. We work on the backend application. Now, before we try to work on the backend application, you can find that I've opened only one window to record the transaction. If you want to do multitasking at the same time, you can open multiple windows or multiple sessions. And this is the icon to do that. So if you hit on it, a new window is going to be getting opened up. Like this, we have 6 sessions to work, or 6 windows. So user can open 6 sessions or 6 windows, and he can do multitasking. So after opening all the 6 sessions, you are going to be finding this particular message getting displayed. Maximum number of sessions reached. Okay. So in one client, you can open maximum of 6 sessions, not more than 6 sessions over here. This is one thing you need to know. This is a limitation what your basis team is going to be putting down. Maximum number of sessions you can open at a time is going to be 6. And if you want to close any particular window, you can take the help of this particular icon, which we call it as log off icon. You will be exited from that particular window, or you can click on close. You will be exited from that particular window as well. Okay, so as of now, I'm closed all the windows, and this is one icon. Now, instead of using this icon, If you want to take the help of a command, we can also do that. In SAP terms, we are not going to be calling it as commands. We name it as transaction codes, or in short, we call it as T codes. And the length of the T codes in SD module is going to be maximum of 4 letters. For most of the T codes, it is going to be of 4 letters, not more than that. And here we are going to be using a transaction code /O to open a new session. If you want to open up a new window or a new session, we are going to be taking the help of this particular T code. So that T code need to be entered in this particular box, which we name it as command box. If it's in the hide mode, please try to expand it, enter the transaction code and click on enter. You can enter the T code in small letters, in capital letters, system will be able to read it. Now once you click on enter, you're getting this one. Already we have logged in one screen. If you want to open up a second window, try to click on generate. A second window is going to be getting opened up. So like this, again, you can open a maximum of 6 windows at a time, not more than 6. So I'm just trying to open all the sessions, and you can do multi-transaction recording process. So after you open all 6 sessions, you can't open anymore. That is a restriction which has been put down. And if you want to exit from all windows, instead of closing one by one, if you want to exit from all windows at a time, you can take the help of a transaction code called as /NEX. If you hit on this /NEX, we will be exited from all windows and you need to re-log in once again. So /NEX is going to be another transaction code you need to remember to log off from all windows. Okay. So I'm just trying to re-log in, and this time we try to work out on the backend. So I'm just trying to maintain my username and the password. Now from this particular screen, from easy access, if you want to get into the backend, run tcode SPR. This is the T code, where we have an abbreviation maintained for this particular T code, where this stands for SAP Reference Objects. That's what you mean by it. Now, what you are going to be finding in that SPRO screen. So once you click on enter, this how the screen is going to be looking. You're going to be finding project details. On which project you need to work, that project informations are going to be shown up over here. For every project, there will be a project name. This project details are going to be shared to you when you work on SAP application. Your project manager will be sharing this particular data on which project you need to work. You need to select that particular project with the help of this blocks, which we call it as selection blocks. Select the block, that is nothing but select the project, and you need to hit on SAP reference IMG to get into backend application. And when you click on SAP reference IMG, this how the screen is going to be looking. And the screen name is display IMG. So this is going to be the screen name, where as a consultant you are going to be working. We name it as backend application. And when we try to talk about this particular backend application, this will be under the control of consultants. We work on this particular page, and where we try to build SAP application. We are going to be building the application on this particular page over here. Again, from this IMG, if you want to get back, try to click on this back icon. You're going to be landing up in the project page. Again, from project page, you need to come back, hit on it. You will be landing up in easy access. From easy access, if you want to get into IMG, there is only one way. You need to enter SPRO. You need to select the project, and you need to click on SAP reference IMG. This will be taking us to the backend application. So this is the screen access. As a consultant, you are going to be given to work to develop the application. This is where you are going to be working. And apart from this, what else you need to know? Now you can find this particular logo getting displayed up. SAP Demo Systems. This is nothing but right now you're working out on a demo application. You're going to be finding this logo. If you're working on a real-time application, you don't find this particular message getting displayed. This demo application name is what we try to call it as IDIS ERP, where we have an abbreviation maintained for this IDIS, where this IDIS stands for Internet Demonstration Evaluation Systems. Internet Demonstration Evaluation Systems. Right now, you will be given access to work with this particular server. Okay, and this is purely used for education purpose, not for recording the live transactions of a business. And if you want to know the system functionality, if you want to know whether you're working out on ECC application or S4 HANA application, how to find out the technical details of the system. So for that, you can find this one, which we try to call it as menu bar. In this menu bar, you're going to be finding an option called as systems. So click on the systems, and if you try to come down, you're going to be finding status. Click on the status icon. A new screen is going to be getting opened up. This is how the screen is going to be looking. Now here there will be a lot of information. In which client we have logged in, using which username, language, how many times we have entered the wrong password, at what time we have logged in, we have recorded the activity, everything is going to be getting updated. And apart from that, under SAP data, under this SAP data, you can find SAP system data tab. If you want to know the name of the application, this is the place where you're going to be finding it. And you have an option called as product version. So if you want to know the name of the application, click on this details icon, the components which has been installed. This is how the screen will be looking. Installed software components, and you can find installed product versions. If you want to find out the version, click on installed product versions. And over here, if you try to scroll down, this is the name of the application. SAP ERP 6.0 EHP 7. This is the name of the application. And this application we try to name as ECC application. I'm just trying to put down some details, application name, and right now we are working out with ECC platform. So I'm going to be showing you how exactly you're going to be finding the difference between ECC and S4 HANA. We name it as SAP ERP ECC 6.0 EHP 7. So where this ECC stands for Enterprise Central Component. Where this ECC stands for Enterprise Central Component, and in that we have version number 6.0. So before 6.0 we have number of older versions which has been outdated. So right now in ECC you're going to be finding version as 6.0, and after 6.0 what SAP has done, if SAP want to come out with new updates, they have started releasing EHPs, where this EHP stands for enhancement packs. Okay, instead of releasing 6.1 6.2, SAP has not done that one. They have provided some enhancement packs. If you install this enhancement packs, what happens, the new features which has been released by SAP will be installed, and you can use that one. No need to update the entire application. You can use this EHP packs for updation process over here. Okay. Yeah. Now, this is one thing you need to be aware of when you work on ACC platform over here. And apart from that, you want to know the name of the database. So how this database is going to be working. So this ECC application is going to be working on a database. And if you want to find out the name of the database, you can find this particular tab. We have database tab. So under this database tab, you can find the database name. This ECC application is going to be running on a database called as SQL, which is nothing but third-party database. So we are not using SAP database for storing the data. If you want to run this application, we are using third-party databases. And SQL is one database which can be used. We have Oracle database and we have RDBMS databases to run this ECC platform. Okay, so these are few things what you know when you work on ECC application. This is what right now a lot of companies are trying to use it. And SAP came up with a solution that this is going to be outdated. Companies which are using ECC application need to upgrade their software to S4 HANA. That's going to be the new one, where we have an abbreviation maintained for S4 HANA, which stands for Simplified Business Suite for HANA. This is going to be the full name of it. Now again in S4 HANA, you're going to be finding number of versions and the latest version is going to be 2023. So this is going to be the version what SAP has released. S4 HANA on cloud 2023. Okay, so every year SAP is going to be releasing a new version on S4 HANA. Every year you're going to be finding new versions with all updates. And you will be given access to work on 2022 or 2023 version, which is available in the market. And if you want to work on S4HANA, let me try to show you the system behavior. Screens are going to be same. You're not going to be finding any kind of difference when you work on it. Screens are going to be same. I'm just trying to show you my company server. So easy to work on it. Just give me a second. Okay, now here I'm just trying to log in into S4HANA server. Just gone. Now here I'm just trying to show you my company project server on which way I'm trying to work it out. This is going to be with reference to development and the quality one. So if you hit on it, you're going to be finding the same welcome screen what I've shown you. Only thing you're going to be finding the difference is going to be the client ID. I was mentioning that 800 to 899 we are going to be using it as a demo client for education purpose. In the real time I'm having a client ID called as 100, where all my system development will be done. I'm having one more client on the name of 110, which will be used for testing for sandbox, with name it as, where you will be given access to work with both IMG and easy access. I'm having one more client to perform integration testing. So yesterday I was trying to basically talk about these particular terminologies that we are going to be performing different types of testing. So different testings are going to be performed in different systems. Okay, so here I'm having this particular client which has been purely designed for building the application, and I'm trying to put down my username and password to log into the application. And once you click on enter, this will be taking us to the easy access screen where my end users will be given access to work on the system. And this is my company project logo on which I'm trying to work it out. And this is how it is going to be looking. You're not going to be finding any kind of changes in the real time and in the demo application, the server access which will be provided. And from here, if you want to get into the backend, run tcode SPRO. Try to click on SPRO, select the project, and try to click on SAP reference IMG. This will be taking us to the backend, where as a consultant, you're going to be building the application to the code based on all the business requirements. And if you want to know the system properties, system details, try to click on system from the menu bar, click on status, and you're going to be getting the same window. Here, if you want to know the name of the application, click on this particular icon, details icon. And once you try to click on this product version details icon, the installed products will be shown up. Try to click on install product versions over here, and this is the name of the version, SAP S4 HANA 2023 release. And we are trying to work it out on premise. In S4 HANA, you're going to be finding two options, on cloud, on premise. On premise means client need to set up the server. On cloud means you run the servers from SAP for storing your data. So here, this is how it is going to be working. And this is a release, 2023 release. And this S4 HANA is going to be running on a database called as HDB, which stands for HANA database. So S4 HANA application is going to be a purely designed, which is going to be running on a database called as HANA. Okay, if you want to run this application, S4 HANA application on SQL, on Oracle, it is not going to be supported. This application has been purely designed to run on a database called as HANA. And we have an abbreviation maintained for this HANA, which stands for High Performance Analytic Appliance, where H has been picked up from high, AN from analytic, and A from appliance. This is how it is working. Okay, and which one came into the market and what is the existence of it? First, SAP came out with database, and this particular database has been launched in the year 2011. And this particular database has been purely developed to store the data based on row plus column format. So the reason why this particular database has been developed in row plus column format, row format is going to be used for storing the data faster. So faster transaction recording. You can record the transaction very fast. Column format is going to be used for reports. If you want system to reports, to read the reports and generate the outputs, it is going to be based on column formats. Report generations are going to be faster. That is the reason your total HANA has been developed based on row plus column format. Whereas when you are trying to work out with SQL or Oracle, this has been designed only on row format, where transaction recording is going to be faster, report execution will be slow. System will be taking lot of time for generation of reports, and this is one of the biggest challenge what SAP has faced from the business. They were taking, SAP was taking lot of time for running the reports, and reports are running later, decisions are not quick. So for that reason, SAP need to do some changes with database. So that is the reason SAP came out with their own databases. Instead of doing all the changes to third-party databases, which was not getting supported, they developed their own database, and it has been developed based on row plus column format. So that is the reason once this database has been successfully deployed, SAP came out with changes with reference to application. So S4 HANA is going to be what we call it as application. HANA, we call it as a database. You're going to be finding HANA consultants in the market. where they will be handling the entire database. S4 HANA is going to be application name. Okay. Now you're going to be having the same thing, same screen behavior, the front end application name. When we try to talk about front end application on as easy, on ECC application, we were trying to work out with SAP Easy Access. On S4 HANA also, you're going to be finding SAP Easy Access. Whereas when you're trying to work out with the backend application, so backend application here, you're going to be finding display IMG screen. Here also, you're going to be having display IMG screen. No change for the backend. So backend is going to be under the control of consultants. Frontend, end users. Now, what is the change? In S4 HANA, you have second front-end application, which we try to call it as Fiori. Fiori user interface, where this UX stands for user interface. And this is how it is going to be looking. I'm just trying to show you. Which is going to be the web link. So no need for the end user to sit in front of the laptop for recording the transaction. They will be provided with this particular web link. Using this particular web link, they can log into SAP using mobile or a tab or a laptop or a desktop and go for recording day-to-day activities. So here we try to put down again username along with that password. And you can go for selection of the language. And once you try to click on, okay, just give me a second. Sorry guys, I don't remember much about my password. Just give me a second. I entered the wrong application. Just give me a second. The client ID is different. I need to log in into 110. Okay. Now here, I'm just trying to get into the Fiori application, and this is a transaction code. If you want to get into the web version from GUI, and once you hit on enter, so it will be asking us. So if you try to share this particular web link, this particular link to the user, they can log in through mobile. So once you try to click on allow, we have this particular screen. I'm just trying to enter my username and the password. And this is how it is going to be looking. We try to name it as app styles. So this is how your front end has been changed. So no need for the user to remember any kind of transaction codes. So he will be loaded with the apps. He can open a particular app and he can go for recording the transactions. This is how it is going to be purely designed for. And this is going to be user specific. If you don't want any particular user should be given access to work with any particular activity, you can remove that particular access. And data visibility also can be controlled. Okay, to which user, what data need to be displayed, we can map that particular functionality as well. Now, for example, I'm just trying to show you one of the tile. business master business partner master data. This is with reference to your customer data, what we try to store in SAP application. So it will be reading all the information and it will be showing me all the records which has been created on the application. So I'm just trying to open one of the record over here. So how the customer data is going to be looking. There's just a glance of it. So system will be reading all the information because whatever values we try to store in SAP will be updated in the database in the form of tables. So system will be reading the tables and it will be displaying the information maintained for that. So this is with reference to basic data, whatever address you maintain for that particular customer record, that customer data will be shown up over here. So you will be having different tabs which will be providing different informations. Okay. So this is how it will be looking. And apart from that, you will be having different tabs for doing different functionalities as well. So this is totally user defined screens. To each user, what access need to be given based on the business requirements, we can control it. Okay, we can control it to the fullest. So this is how your Fiori application is going to be looking, which is not present when you're trying to work on ECC. So this is the new feature what SAP has provided. Whereas for the consultant, it's going to be the traditional method itself. You need to log into SAP using IMG screen itself and you need to build the application. We don't have access to work with the Fiori application. Okay. Maybe going ahead in the future, SAP may come out with a new solution working out on the Fiori for the backend people as well. As of now, it is purely designed for the front end activities. So this is what you need to know as a part of your system login, how you are going to be logging, how you are going to be exiting, what are the screens on which consultant and end user is going to be working, where exactly, how exactly the things are going to be carried out. So I'm going to be giving you an explanation how to work on ECC platform as well as on S4 HANA, so that you can know how the previous version of SAP has been built and what is the changes you are going to be getting it on S4 HANA, the new improvised user interface. And it's going to be fun learning on S4 HANA because everything we are going to be running through apps. So how to open up app, how the screens are going to be looking, and it is going to be more user friendly. And these all errors are going to be loaded by your basis. They take care of it. If any particular app is not getting loaded properly, you need to put this particular information to the basis team and they try to make sure it is going to be getting loaded up. This is how it's going to be working as well. So this is a small introduction related to your system navigation and execution of it. If you have any questions or anything need to be cleared, do let me know. I can answer it. So this is what I wanted to do it up in today's session, giving you a small introduction to the screens, how we are going to be working on. In tomorrow's session, I'm going to be starting with the first chapter of sales and distribution, where I try to explain a concept called as organization structure, the definitions of it, what are the terminologies we are going to be using, and we try to start building the application from there onwards. So from tomorrow, your practical sessions are also going to be getting started as well. Theory plus practical, we try to work on the system. You guys are able to follow today's session, able to get some glance of how the screens are going to be looking, or you have any questions, do let me know.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Actually, I have some couple of questions. Like, what are the screens exactly? Like, how many screens are there in SAP?
Now we have front end and the back end. So when you try to work on GUI, you're going to be having access to work with easy access screen and display IMG screen. These are the two screens. Easy access is going to be with reference to the front end, and here this is going to be the backend application. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. And one more is like who will maintain the integrations, like a developer or a functional guys? Sir?
Now, may I know what kind of integration, please? Data flow from one module to another module you're talking about, or integration between this GUI and Fiori application?
I don't know exactly about integration, so just I'm
Okay.
asking, sir.
Here there are going to be two things. From the functional side, if you want data need to be moved. Now let's say from sales data need to be moved to MM, or from MM data need to be moved to production, or from production data need to be moved to quality management, from sales data need to be moved to FICO. This will be taken care by your functional department. That means as a functional consultants, we are going to be responsible for data movement. This integration setup will be done by us. If you want system development, technicalities of the system, where your GUI need to be interfaced with Fiori application, this will be taken care by your basis, and you're going to be having Fiori consultant who will be working on it. Okay, this is how it's going to be working. So if you are part of a functional consultant, we are going to be responsible for data flow from one department to another department. If you're trying to talk about the systems, you're going to be finding basis and the Fiori consultant who will be working on it. They try to maintain the connectors for data movement. So this is what we try to call it as integration. This is going to be purely cross-module integration, what we call it as. I was trying to put down this particular information in my last session as well. What are going to be the topics we try to cover as a part of this integration areas? Clear?
Yes, sir. One more is like in Fury we have tiles, right, sir? So in that, who will do the like implementation, like developer or a functional?
You're talking about this file tiles creation. You're talking about
Tile creation and integration. For that, we will map the
Fiori.
functionality. Yeah.
So Fiori consultant is a person with help of ABAP, because ABAP will be giving you all the database and the tables which will be used for development of this particular screens. It's not going to be functional consultant getting involved up. These are all ready-made solutions what we have it, what SAP has provided. If you want to create your own tile, now let's say you don't want to use this particular tile, you want to create your own tile, then you require an ABAP, you require a Fiori, you require a functional consultant. So functional consultant will be giving the logic, what screens need to be displayed. You need to provide the data. ABAP will be having that information. He will be designing it by writing a code, and Fiori application consultant will be preparing this particular type. So that is going to be with reference to customs. These are all standards. By default, we are trying to use it.
So one more last one. Like
Yeah.
you told, like HANA in we will use data in rows and columns wise, right? So
Your HANA database has been designed based on row plus column format. That is the properties what SAP has done. Because when you're trying to work out with row plus column format, this how your database has been designed for storing the information. You pick up any database, you pick up SQL or HANA or Oracle, we are going to be using this particular database for storing the data. Now, how much amount of data you're going to be storing? Big volumes of data. Now, if you want to store that particular data and if you want to retrieve that data, it has been designed to store based on row plus column formats. So row, there's going to be the rows, sorry, this one is going to be rows and this one is going to be columns. So how you want system to read the information which has been stored in the database for report generations, for that this is going to be used for speed performance of your database. And why SAP came out with database, all these particular functionalities, when we work with S4 HANA classes, I can give you more information about it. It's going to be too early for me without showing anything on the SAP application. So to explain these particular things.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.